Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour on Saga 960. I want to introduce you tonight to Klaudia Capalbo. Is that correct?
Capalbo.
Cacalbo. She's a fashion industry professional with over 15 years of experience in the media and marketing industry, including print, television, events, digital, and social media. Her background includes 7 years at Flair, Lulu, and Hello magazines, and a gold award-winning recipient at the Media Innovations magazine. And gold-winning recipient the Media Innovations Award. Prior to working at Flair magazine, Klaudia worked in broadcast media at Chum Television and in sports entertainment with NBA Canada Inc. More recently, Klaudia was announced as the new regional director of Fashion Group International, which is a global organization in 7 countries with over 5,000 members. She's also a professor at Humber College, Sheridan, and Georgian College, teaching fashion, marketing, and public relations in the business school, and an instructor in the Toronto Fashion Academy, and a marketing consultant for several different clients. Klaudia is also a featured fashion stylist, a judge for Supermodel Canada Search, and has been featured in Vegas, 2LA, York University Magazine. Is it Effie magazine?
Yep.
And most recently in Holar and Spencer magazine. Welcome to our show, Klaudia. How are you?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
That's a pretty impressive background.
Well, thank you.
And you've just launched a new, is it a fashion institute?
Yes, it's the Institute of Fashion. It's an online global platform that allows educators to be able to educate the next generation of students and professionals in the fashion industry.
Tell us a little bit about what you said you've been working on for a year. Tell us why it's taken so long, what's it part of, and what do you want to accomplish?
Yeah, so it actually came, the idea was something that I've been playing with for probably about a good, 6 months. And I started working on it earlier this year. And really the purpose is, and then part of the reason why it motivated me more to do it was when COVID hit and so many of our fashion industry businesses suffered greatly. The designers suffered. A lot of the people that had brick and mortars suffered. And so many people got impacted in our industry, including myself. And, just being able to see the results of that, I really wanted to create a platform that would be able to kind of do 2 things. It's kind of a twofold, right? So a lot of people, as you may have even noticed online, started doing like side hustles. They were doing online businesses. They were converting their businesses to an online platform. So it allowed people the opportunity, or this allows people the opportunity to be able to learn a new skill, learn some new education, some new knowledge and experience. And that way, if they wanted to be able to change careers or be able to do a side hustle, they have that capability to do that with the learning that they're going to be able to receive through these workshops. And then on the other side, it helps the fashion community because it employs all of these people who have really struggled over the last 2 years in terms of the job situation and closing. A lot of their businesses are being closed for so long that it allows them to also have a side opportunity that if they wanted to be able to be an instructor, then all they have to do is contact me and we would be able to match them up with a professional or student that want to take these workshops. So it's a win-win, right? It's a win for the student or professional that wants to learn a new skill and experience, and it's a win for the instructor to be able to employ them and be able to give back to the fashion community.
Fantastic. And if people want to participate, how do they do that? Is there a website you should go to?
There is. It's TIOF.ca. So you just go on there, you'll see what the certification is. So when you complete, it's 4 hours, it's a 4-week program, 2 hours each. And it's an 8-week program in total. The beauty about it is that it's one-on-one and it's live via Zoom. So it's like, for you example, Brian, if you wanted to learn something new, what I would do is, let's say you want to learn something about fashion styling, I would put you in touch with one of our professional fashion stylists who actually works in the industry. So you're getting firsthand experience. And you would be able to work with that person around your busy schedule. So if it was evenings, weekends, you would both agree on a date and time. And once you completed your 8 hours of workshop, then you would be completed with a certificate from our program. So it's a great opportunity. It's wonderful because it's around your schedule. And by the time you're done with it, you learn a great skill that you are now able to take and be able to do whatever you'd like with it, whether it's personal interest or be able to create money out of it, then that's something that you're able to do.
And TIOF stands for?
The Institute of Fashion. So
the Institute of Fashion.
Yeah, so TIOF.ca, and you just go onto the courses. You'll see the courses we've got right now. We've just started out with 6 courses, but they cover a ton of topics. So we do everything from body types, like styling for different body types, inclusivity and diversity, sustainability. We cover fashion photography. There's the business of fashion. So we do trend forecasting. So there is a lot of subjects that get covered within those courses.
We're chatting tonight with Klaudia Zinaty about fashion, and we're going to take a break for some messages and come back more with Klaudia in just a minute. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour on Saga 960. Tonight we're talking with Klaudia Zinaty about fashion. Klaudia, you're the director of something called Fashion Group International. Tell us a little bit about what that organization is.
Absolutely. It's a professional organization that's based in Toronto. We actually are a global organization. So our headquarters are based in New York. There are 26 chapters around the world. And it's basically for professionals that are in the fashion, beauty, lifestyle industry that want to be able to connect and network with others, as well as be able to learn new skills, knowledge, and experience. So what we do is we have events. During COVID, we've done them virtually, but now that we're able to have a little bit of more ability to do in-person events, we've actually done 2 in August and September. And they're all about really just being able to come out, learn something new. Our August event was a networking meet and greet so that you got to meet other professionals within your industry. And our September event was actually something I'm super proud of because it's something I've wanted to do for a long time, which is, one of the things I've heard all the time is a misconception that our fashion industry doesn't support one another, that everybody's kind of in their own little group and no one actually supports one another. So I really wanted to debunk that. So in September, I brought together all of the fashion houses that we have in Toronto. And so it was the Canadian Arts and Fashion. So CAFA was there, the Toronto Fashion Takes Action, Fashion Tech. We had the Black Designers of Canada. And we also had Kazim Mohammed, who is brilliant in business and capital investing. So we had all of these people come under one roof to really be able to talk about fashion and the industry, and also a little bit about each of their organizations so that everybody can learn a little bit more about the different organizations that are out there.
Fantastic. Sounds interesting. Did you have a good turnout?
Oh my gosh, we have been sold out for 2 months. So our Schmooze event, we were only allowed 80. We maxed out. We had to turn people away. We had a waiting list of over, I think it was 22 people. And then our event that we did as well, we were sold out a week prior to the event. So we had over 90 people at our September event. And again, we had a waiting list and had to turn away people. So it is just tremendous, but it also shows you how alive and vibrant our fashion industry is, and how people are just so excited to be able to reconnect and to learn new things. So it was really beautiful to see.
So, for the last year and a half, most people have been sitting at home and wearing sweats and participating with, whatever businesses or other people through the internet. Do you think fashion's got a future?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that's why I created this global online platform is, the beautiful thing about the Institute of Fashion is that you can be anywhere in the world. So, we can have students and professionals from anywhere, from China, from England, from France, anywhere in the world. And if it's something that you want to learn and it's a skill set that you want to learn, then there's an opportunity for you to be able to do that. And because our instructors are also international, that they'll be able to go with time zones. Like there's no conflict of interest at all with time zones. So it's a great opportunity to be able to do that. So yeah, absolutely. I agree that there is a potential for fashion in the future. I think a lot of it's going to be converted online. And I also think that a lot of the brick and mortar stores are now prepared to now have their businesses easily converted to an online platform. I think it's been a lot of learning and it's been a journey, but I think now we kind of walk away after COVID a little more prepared, a little more knowledgeable, and ready to take on, the industry as a whole.
I went shopping for shoes first time in probably 2 years. And you know what? It was really nice to go into a store and try them on and look at them in a mirror and change which designs I wanted, and had a professional sales lady that was sort of giving me some advice. You can't do that online, or at least not in the same manner. Don't you think we're going to go back to an in-person kind of clothing purchases?
You know what? Well, one of the things that we're seeing a huge trend on, and you'll probably actually see it grow more and more. I've been seeing it quite a bit on TikTok mainly, but I know that there has been also on Instagram. It's a new platform now that people are using social media to be able to actually do live streams where they're actually showcasing the products live, and it's been going on for a while, but now I'm seeing it more prominent than ever. So, retail stores are being very smart now because they're realizing that instead of people going into the store and buy and trying them on in person, what they're doing is they're getting their sales staff to try on the products for you. So you can actually join into a live stream, Brian, and say, I really like those brown shoes. And the person in the store, the salesperson, will try them on, and there will be someone taking angles of every single angle of that shoe in the bottom and the top and the side. And you can then decide if that's a purchase. And the reason why it's doing so well, it's huge in China. They've been doing it already for actually quite a number of years. We're a little slow to catch up, but it's been massive boom of business for China because people can literally follow on their phones and be able to see a live stream and pick out exactly what they want, know exactly how it's going to look like. So there's no disappointment when it arrives, know what size is going to fit them based on the model, and be able to actually purchase right from that item. So what happens is when you're actually live streaming it, if you like it, it'll actually take you to the website and you can go straight to checkout. So it's fantastic, the technology and the way that the retail sales have gone. And I honestly feel that that's going to be the next trend of sales.
So this move during the last year and a half to online sales, it happened before, but accelerated dramatically during COVID, you think is going to continue? And companies, retailers, fashion designers that want to be successful have got to figure out how to sell online.
I do believe that retailers definitely have to sell online. I think that's absolutely, if this wasn't a wake-up call for them, I think it is now. So I think for you to be competitive out there in the marketplace, the brick and mortar isn't enough. So I definitely feel that you do have to find a platform online. But I also feel that social media is extremely powerful as an avenue to be able to sell your products online because you're reaching a global audience. So think about when you go into a store and you buy it, you're buying it locally, which is great. And it really is great for local retailers. But if you go online as a social media platform and you live stream and you start showcasing the products on real life models in real time with products that are available online, it's a great platform to be able to increase your sales on a global market.
I was chatting with a female friend, I guess last week, and she said that down in her basement, she's got a huge closet filled with gowns that she hasn't touched in a year and a half. Are gowns going to come back?
I think they will when it comes to our gala events. I mean, I do believe that there will be in-person gala events definitely happening. Like I know for a fact from people that I've talked to in the industry that a lot of the major events in Toronto are going to be in person as of 2022. They are planning for it to be in person. So unless something major happens with COVID, I do believe that, gowns will definitely make a comeback, and people are anxious to get dressed up and be able to go to these awards and galas and various events. So yes, I do believe that they will have a comeback.
What about ties? I've got like hundreds of ties and I haven't put a tie on. I think I put a tie on twice in the last year and a half.
Well, when you're working from home, I think most people wouldn't be wearing ties. There's been a huge shift in terms of the way people dress at home, right? You've seen now with COVID, people are dressing more casual. And I'm not talking like sweats because, you're still going on Zoom calls and having your weekly meetings, or you're still doing your job and your work from home. So I think, but people are dressing more like business casual. So leisure casual is what we call it, or business casual, and just being able to do that. So I don't think ties as much will be, obviously, unless you have a very formal meeting. But I think out in the workplace, depending on the career and the area that you're in, if you're in finances or in the legal area, then you may still be required to do ties. But I think for the most part, most people are going to come out of this with a little bit more of a business casual sense than anything else.
I was in New York on business, beginning of September, and no one was in a suit and no one was wearing dress shoes. And I know you're renowned for, 1,000 shoes that you've got or something like that?
Not that, well, 450 something now, probably, yeah.
But what they were wearing, and this was primarily men, I apologize, but they were all wearing fancy, what I understand is like $1,000 fancy running shoes. Like everyone was wearing these fancy running shoes. It's like this new trend, and sports jackets. Tell us, do you think that, like fancy shoes are out and we're all going to be wearing fancy running shoes?
Well, I just think, again, it comes down to that athletic wear. I think now that, through COVID, I think we've all learned to dress down a lot more, but there's a great way of being able to still look good in dressing down. So, dressing down would be things like your bomber jackets or your lightweight jackets, or your cardigans, like your V-neck or crew neck cardigans with a great pair of slacks or khakis. And the same with the shoes. I think you can find some really great fashionable sneakers, and they don't have to look like running sneakers or cross-country sneakers. You can find some extremely fashionable styles now. And I honestly feel like if you take a look at the businesses online, a lot of the ones that made a huge amount of money over the last 2 years have been the actual, leisure wear, the leggings, the crop tops, the t-shirts and the workout gear. Like that has been huge, and not just for working out, just in terms of day-to-day wear. I think that's made a huge difference last year. And I think the same with shoes. If you take a look at sneakers over the last 2 years, they have gone tenfold in terms of their sales. And I think it's because a lot of people took the time while they were home during COVID to actually be able to do workouts from home, because we saw a huge rising in that, and being able to enjoy the outdoors more. And I think a lot of people translated that into their day-to-day wear as well.
Now, this institute that you've launched, what are some of the courses that you're going to teach?
So we've got 6 courses right now. So we've got everything from business of fashion. We've got fashion photography. There's fashion design. There is trend forecasting. There's also different topics. Like we cover pretty much everything, but the majority that we've got is based on what our needs are right now in the industry. So there's also one on image consulting, because one of the other things that we found that was really big was a lot of people were doing closet edits while they were home for 2 years. So a lot of them were purging their closets and really trying to figure out what they want to keep and what they don't. So our image consulting also provides that, so that you can do a career in that and offer that service to other people. So there are we've kind of segmented it into 6 different workshops, but within those workshops, you're learning so many different topics and skills. And
do you have other people that are helping you with the teaching of it?
Yes. So a lot of our instructors are actually from the industry. So the fashion designer course, for example, is being taught by real fashion designers that are in Toronto. So they're going to be part of the instruction as well. The same with fashion styling. We've got stylists who are actually out there who've been published in magazines that are teaching the styling course. With the trend forecasting, we've got actually trend forecasters that are also stylists that are teaching that course. So everyone, fashion photographer, our professional photographers who've been published in multiple magazines, both nationally and internationally, that are teaching that course. So every single course actually has a roster of various instructors within our industry. So it really is giving back to our fashion community and allowing them to also be employed.
What's a trend forecaster?
It's a lot of training to be able to do that, but it's someone who can kind of foresee the trends of the future. So it's someone who will be able
fortune teller?
So it's sort of like a fortune teller on a fashion scale. It's really someone who's really in tune, who's very observant, who can do a lot of research. It's very research based, but it's predicting like what the colors will be for the next season. It's understanding what the different trends that are going to be both on the streets and in the retail stores. So, when you go into the store in spring and you see all of these colors and you see all these patterns and all of these things, those are all because of trends that have been already identified as going to be the big thing for spring of 2022. And then all the retailers respond to that and then, fill up their stores with that type of merchandise. So it's predicting what the next, big thing is going to be in the fashion industry.
How does one predict? Are they just like attuned to what's happening on the different, in the different fashion houses? Like, how does one predict what's going to happen in fashion? How do you know that?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's really research based. So a lot of it, believe it or not, it's a 2-year process. Like it isn't something that, you just kind of look over a couple of weeks and then decide what the trends are going to be for the next season. It's really based on a 2-year process where it's going through everything from street style and being able to see like what's going on in Europe being able to see the style in Europe and Japan and all of these kind of major city influences. So a lot of it's observing, seeing what's happening in Italy, in Paris, and being able to see, like in Japan, because Japan's a huge influence as well, what's going on in the UK, and really just kind of seeing what all of the major cities in Europe and overseas, and what's happening over there. And then it's also doing a lot of color combination of really just being observant to what designers are doing. Like, what are some of the designer things that we're seeing coming out of the runway? And based on that, what do we predict it's going to happen in the spring, summer? So it's very heavily research based, but it's also a lot of it's based on tons of research, being able to connect with many different people from the industry, whether it be photographers and videographers, designers, influencers, major, magazine like Vogue and InStyle and fashionista.com, and really just being able to tap into multiple resources and then kind of collecting all that information and then being able to evaluate all of it and then come up with the trends for the season. So it's a very long process. Like, I've actually, I know quite a number of people who do it for a living, and I had no idea it was a 2-year process until I actually learned from them. But when you see how much work is involved, you can understand why people take it so seriously.
And an image consultant, what's that? Is that like a personal shopper, or is it someone you talked about editing my closet? So what is an image consultant do?
So that would be a little bit of both, actually. So it's someone who is going, like, let's say, for example, someone who works in a very conservative job, like a lawyer or financial district, and they really want to be able to update their wardrobe, but they're not sure how to. Or it might be someone who lost a lot of weight and wants to be able to find things that are going to fit them. Or someone who wants to convert their look into something very professional and just don't know how. So what our students and professionals will learn, will be able to do that. So being able to kind of walk them through the process. And when we talk about closet edit, what they would do is online through Zoom, they would be able to showcase, that person would showcase their closet, and they would literally take out piece by piece. And that person would say, okay, they'd go through it. Like, when was last time you wore this? How is it on a fit for you? Do you love it? Do you hate it? And it kind of goes through that whole thing where they decide, what do they really need to keep? Because if you think about your closet, you probably have so much stuff in there that you haven't worn in like 4 to 6 years. So what the image,
call it 10 to 20.
Right. So that's what it is. It's going through that closet and purging the things that you don't need so that you're able to donate it. So we're being sustainable, but also being able to bring in new pieces that are going to be not only just classic pieces that you're going to be able to use for a while, but really helping create that image of what you want to achieve. So if someone says, I lost a lot of weight and I really want to look sexy and hot, that's something that person can help them being able to find pieces that really fit their body shape and that transformation. If other people are like, I work for a law firm, and I really want to be able to find some fun pieces, but are also very conservative, then that person will be able to provide them some really great looks that have that person's personality in mind and still look professional.
Now, it's FGI, correct? Fashion Group International?
Yes.
You're the Canadian or the Toronto director of it?
Yes.
Is there a future for fashion in Toronto, for fashion designers, for clothing manufacturers in Toronto?
There is. I mean, there always has been. It's just a matter of really being able to utilize, like, Fashion Group International is great because it allows everybody to connect with one another and be able to create opportunities. So whether it be collaborations, whether it be an opportunity to expand your business, whether it be, putting together some really great marketing campaigns. I think that's the beauty of what we do. And I don't know if I mentioned, Brian, but so every year our head office does an awards ceremony where they give out certain awards based on excellence. And we always win. We're very lucky. Toronto's been always on the forefront of winning these awards on a yearly basis. And so last year we actually won. It was the first ever issued, and it was the Merit Award of Excellence for a full year of programming that we did. So if you can imagine COVID being as hard as it hit last year, we created programs every single month that excelled and exceeded all the other 25 chapters, us being the 26th, and we beat out all the chapters and won this Merit Award of Excellence. So what we try to do is always listen to what our members need, what they want and what's going to help them grow their business. And my mandate and mission from day one when I took over was to elevate, educate, and empower. So every single thing that we do every month is hitting on those three. And I think that's really important. So there is absolutely an opportunity in Toronto. It's just a matter of get yourself out there, connect yourself with as many people as possible. If you're not sure how, please reach out. I am more than happy to help. And I really feel that.
How do they do that? What do they reach out to?
So they can reach out to info@fgitoronto.org. You can reach out to me personally on my Instagram, and it's at Klaudias Fashion Fix, and Klaudias with a K. And I'm more than happy to direct you and network and help you connect with other individuals as well.
Awesome. And remind us the website for the Fashion Institute.
Yes, it's TIOF.ca, the Institute of Fashion.ca.
Klaudia Zinaty, thank you so much for joining us and telling us a little bit about the fashion industry.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, everyone. Stay with us. We're going to come back with a little bit more about fashion in just a minute.